What's up, fight fans? Thank you once again for coming through. Much appreciated. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. If you're not and you come back to watch another video, as always, I always say it, but I'm going to keep saying it. Thank you very much. Honestly, guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, because I know there are a number of good channels out there. So thank you for spending 5 minutes of your wonderful time on a Saturday evening with me before we get to see Billy Joe Saunders fight, right? All right, let's talk Rigondeaux. Let's talk two things, actually. Let's talk let's talk about Bernard Hopkins first. Bernard Hopkins has recently come out and said that he thinks Rigondeaux is 90% done after he quit against Lomachenko in arguably the biggest fight of his career, surpassing the Nito Donaires fight with Rigondeaux in 2013. He thinks Rigondeaux is done. And I understand that Rigondeaux quit. He's now been stripped of his WBA 122-pound title, which is a fucking joke. Promoters already didn't really want to work with him. I think he's only on a fight-to-fight contract with Rock Nation. Could be wrong. But if he is on a fight-to-fight contract, look, they're not going to renew that contract. I think that's fair to say. So, on one hand, I can understand what Bernard Hopkins is saying. On the other hand, I still think Rigondeaux kicks everyone's ass from 122 to 126, and even still some of the 130 guys. We do this in boxing. Look, someone like Rigondeaux took a risk, right? He stepped up 2 weight classes and took on arguably the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world right now. Some people might argue, but kind of Lomachenko after that performance was my pound-for-pound #1. And he lost. And that means he's done? So wait, you jump up 2 weight classes, you lose to arguably the greatest boxer in terms of stylistically we've seen for a long time, and that's it? Come on, it doesn't work like that. For me, Rigondeaux still kicks the shit out of Quigg, Selby, Frampton in terms of the UK lot, Warrington, anyone else in and around that, Kid Galahad, whatever. Then we get to some of the bigger boys in America, Abner Mars, Santa Cruz. Gary Russell Jr. will be a good fight, but I still think he kicks his ass as well. And there's loads of others. So potentially, he still, for me, can get a title just like that. I don't know where he is in terms of a mandatory, but if he's anywhere near a mandatory position, expect a lot of fighters to just come vacate belts because they don't want to fight him. Even at 37, he still beats all those guys cleanly for me. Cleanly. The only one that I think gives him problems, or the only two, for different reasons. Santa Cruz, because of the range. Santa Cruz is very, very lengthy. And we saw when Rigondeaux went over to, where was it? I can't remember who he fought in China. Was it even China? I can't remember who he fought in Asia that put him down. Just because of that length and range, he couldn't handle it. Santa Cruz is quite tall for some of the smaller weights. So Santa Cruz could cause him problems. And I think Gary Russell Jr. hand speed and foot speed could cause him problems as well, especially at 37. But look, Rigondeaux at 122, 126 is still a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. So is he done? No. What I'd like to see is him start traveling a bit. We know he's traveled over to the UK a couple of times, and he's won impressively both of those times. I think we can get him over and build him up, especially now that Frank Warren both has Carl Frampton and Lee Selby. Those are potential fights for Rigondeaux in the future. And if I was a Selby or Frampton, if Rigondeaux is on the way down, which he probably is, he's 37, he's never going to be as good as he was when he was 32, 33, then get that scalp. If you can, if you're that confident that Rigondeaux is, as Bernard Hopkins says, 90% finished, then get that scalp. Frank Warren, I think, has got him over here before, and I think would get him over again. He'll be cheap to get over, let's be honest. No one in America will be rushing to put Rigondeaux on TV because it's just not TV friendly. But I think fans in the UK still have that. Look, we don't get to see world-class fighters all the time. The pool in the UK isn't that big. So when a world-class fighter does come over, regardless of his age, regardless of a couple of defeats, we're happy to see him. We welcome them with open arms. So I think Rigondeaux still has a few fights left. I think he still can make some good money, and I still think he can become world champion again. I just think on the day he came up against a guy that was just him in terms of boxing skills, but younger, bigger, and fresher. That's just what it was. And unfortunately, he quit. But let me tell you now, Abner Mars is not making him quit. Frampton, Selby, Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr., whoever else names out there is not making Rigondeaux quit. And that's the reason why I think Rigondeaux's still got life in him, because at 122 and 126, I'm going to repeat myself, he destroys everybody.